You can stay here, but you have to lay down. Lay down. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to 70 Pounds of Life, my weight loss journey to lose 70 pounds, which now I am down over 100 pounds. I've documented my weight loss journey here on YouTube since day one. If you guys are new here and you didn't know that, you can go and watch lots and lots of videos from like the day that I decided to lose weight up until now. I'm also a certified personal trainer and I do YouTube videos and I do one-on-one online coaching. The floor is better because I can't breathe, okay? You're too heavy. You're taking the life out of me. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today, I'm going to be giving my top 5 tips for somebody who is brand new to a weight loss journey and is kind of feeling maybe a little overwhelmed and doesn't know where to start. Like, should I start with eating right first? Should I start exercising first? Should I do a skinny wrap? Should I do a tea? Should I juice? Should I starve myself? The answer is no to all of those things, okay? So I'm gonna give you my top 5 tips for starting your weight loss journey. So let's go ahead and let's get this party started. The first thing that I recommend someone do who is brand new to starting out a weight loss journey is to really narrow their focus. I feel like we have all been guilty of this before when we have a goal in front of us. We just like have an overwhelming amount of things that we want to do to achieve this goal. And ultimately what happens is we get overwhelmed. And then what happens when we get overwhelmed? We go into avoidance mode. And then you're just stuck where you were, where you started, right? So really narrow your focus in. It doesn't mean that you have to change everything at once. You can take small steps. So for me, for example, when I started my weight loss journey, the only thing that I focused on in the beginning was what I was eating. I cut out anything bagged, boxed, canned, or frozen, with the exception of vegetables, okay? People are always like, what about frozen vegetables? Yes, frozen vegetables are fine. But that's what I did. I narrowed in my focus and I just focused on my nutrition. So if that means for you that the first thing that you're going to do is cut out soda, then that's what you need to focus on. And then guess what? Once you get really good at that first thing that you're focusing on, you can add on other things. So then maybe the second step is to switch from simple carbs to complex carbs, making that swap. And if you guys don't know what simple versus complex carbs are, I think I have a video on it. If not, I'll make an Instagram post on it so you guys can go and check that out. So basically dialing it back, reining it back in and being like, I'm not gonna try and do everything. You are not a superhuman. I was not a superhuman. And I think that's why I failed at losing weight so many times before this time, because I was like, I need to change everything in order for this to happen. But in reality, make small changes, focus in on one thing, get good at that one thing, and then add in another thing, because this is all about a lifestyle change. But really just narrow your focus on one thing at the beginning of your journey, because you don't want to get overwhelmed. You're so cute, I just want to squeeze you. The second thing on this list is to have a plan. Say it with me. Have a plan. This is honestly probably the most important thing on the list of 5 things that I'm giving you guys today. Having a plan is so important, because if you just say, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, or I'm gonna change the way I eat, because remember, we're narrowing our focus. Like, we don't want to say, oh, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. We wanna narrow that focus to, I'm gonna change the way that I eat. Okay, so you can say that you're going to change the way that you're going to eat, but if you don't really think about it and come up with a plan, then it's more than likely not going to work out for you. So let's say that your focus is nutrition, right? So then you need to create a plan. Does that mean that you're going to grocery shop on Sundays? When are you going to grocery shop? Are you gonna do some light meal prepping? When are you gonna do the meal prepping? You can make your plan to be, you'll make extra at dinner, so that way you can take that to work with you the following day, and that'll be your lunch. Planning out what your meals are going to be for the week, and then taking those meals and making a grocery list. If you are going out to a Super Bowl party or a picnic or a barbecue or something like that, have a plan in place for that day, so you know that you're going to eat these things at the barbecue that afternoon or evening. So then what are you going to eat before that? And what are you going to eat after that? How are you going to stick to your goal? If your focus is working out, you need to have a plan for when you're going to work out. What days of the weeks are you going to work out? Does it fit with your work schedule? Does it fit with the kids' basketball, soccer games? Does it fit with whatever you have going on during your week? Plan out when you're going to do those workouts. And then most importantly, what are you going to do during those workouts? Do you know how to work out? Because when I first started, I was like, am I doing this right? Make a plan. So if you want to download some workout guides off of Pinterest, you can do that. I actually just came out with a beginner's weightlifting guide for the gym, which is on my website. I'll link it down below. If you guys need a plan, that is a great plan. It's for beginners who are just getting into working out, and especially weightlifting. Because you know, when you lift weights, you grow your muscles, you lose the fat, and you tone up. Like, honestly, lifting weights has completely changed the way that my body looks. So anyways, having a plan. The more detailed your plan, the better. I promise you. Like, plan out your day. This time I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna have a snack, and then I'm gonna drink my water throughout these times during the day, and then I'm gonna have lunch. Like, plan it out. Also, grocery shopping. A lot of people forget to plan to go to the grocery store, which is kind of important. Number three is to stop relying on other people. And what I mean by that, excuse me, we're gonna have an H2O break real quick. What I mean by that is, if you have somebody who's doing this with you, I am so excited for you. If your husband, your fiance, your best friend, your mom, your daughter, if they're gonna be doing this with you, that is fantastic. But do not rely on other people for your own success, okay? Because let me tell you what happens. Let's say you and your boyfriend are doing this together. You guys start out super strong, right? But then your boyfriend has a bad day at work, or something happens and he's stressed out and he slips off of plan, and he's like, hey, I'm bringing donuts home today. Or, hey, we're gonna go get pizza because I'm stressed. You wanna be a supportive partner, right? So you're gonna give in to that, and then, well, you don't have to give in. Let me finish. Let me get to the good stuff, okay? So let's say you give in to that, and then you guys go into this cycle, right? Where you just skip out on your plan and you go and have whatever you want to eat, right? Because if one person's doing it, then the other person's going to do it, right? Or let's say you and your best friend are doing this together and you guys go to the gym together. Well, she kind of like stops going to the gym, and then that makes you kind of stop going to the gym. You cannot allow that to happen. You can support and motivate somebody who's on the same journey as you, and you can do those things together, but it doesn't mean that when they start to slip off, you can go ahead and start slipping off. And also, you can't get upset with them if they start to slip off. You can't get upset with them because they're on their own journey. They have their own stuff going on. You have to realize that no one is going to do this for you. I think I realized that maybe like 3 months into my journey. I like slipped up and had some like tacos or something. However, I did eat a taco. My friends were encouraging me to have tacos with them. And I remember being so like, they must not really care about me. Like, I was playing the victim card, okay? I was like, they must not really care about me and like my health goals because they want me to eat tacos with them and they're not respecting and they don't care. Guys, honestly, no one is going to care about your weight loss or fitness journey as much as you do. So you cannot put that on other people. You cannot rely on other people to motivate you to go to the gym. You cannot rely on other people to smack the taco out of your hand because they know what your actual goals are. You need to stop relying on other people. So if you do have a partner who is like doing these things, and this is really important. Let's talk about this. Me and my client, one of my clients, were actually just talking about this. Her boyfriend is like on like a healthy kick right now as well, like trying to lose some weight. And he has started to have stress in his life and eat off plan and like wants her to do that with him. If you're going to go through a weight loss journey or any type of fitness journey, health journey with somebody, you need to have a conversation with them. Like, hey, we're going to do this together. And I think it's great that we're going to motivate each other and we're going to inspire each other. But the one thing that we cannot allow to happen is for one of us to encourage the other one to do what they're doing, especially if they're eating off plan or if they're skipping out on the gym. You can't expect that person to do the same thing as you. You guys need to go into this, have the conversation like, you are you. I'm not going to judge you if you eat off plan, or like, you don't need to feel guilty or bad about it, but please do not put that bad juju onto me. Don't put that temptation on me, okay? So that's what I mean by don't rely on anybody else. There were like a few key points in there, but I hope you got the big picture because I'm kind of just rambling at this point. It's very cold in here. Moving right along on to number 3, don't put yourself in a compromising position. And what I mean by that is if somebody is a drug addict, they're addicted to heroin, right? You're not gonna put them in a group of people after they've been sober for like a week. You're not gonna put them in a group of people who are shooting up heroin, right? Like that's very tempting. It's a little too much too soon. So that's what I mean for you guys as well, okay? And some people may disagree with this, but I'm going off of my own experience. This is what has helped me lose 100 pounds, especially this was really helpful in the beginning of my journey. I kind of had to be a little protective of myself because I know myself. I know that I have food addiction. I know that I have binge eating issues. So I knew that for the first few weeks of my weight loss journey, I needed to really build these habits and I needed to be away from temptations, like out of sight, out of mind. So this all goes back to planning as well, kind of, okay? So if you know that you are going to work and there is going to be a potluck there during lunch on that day, guess what? You do not have to put yourself in the compromising position of being at the potluck. Now, if you want to go because you want to be social and you're not going to be tempted by the food, then that's fine. You can go to the potluck and just stay away from where all of the food is. But it is perfectly okay to choose yourself and say, I'm gonna go and have lunch somewhere else away from all of these temptations. You can, if your friends are inviting you out to like Taco Tuesday that you guys have every week, guess what? You don't have to go. You don't have to put yourself in that position. You can draw those boundaries and just let your friends and family or whoever know like, hey, I'm trying to focus on building some healthy habits right now. So for the time being, I'm gonna just avoid those types of situations, but you're more than welcome to come and take a walk with me or come and hang out while I make us dinner, a healthy meal. I'm not saying that you have to like strip your social life, okay? You can still have a social life, but one of the biggest things about our society today and our culture is that everything kind of everything kind of revolves around food. Like when I was going through my weight loss journey, I realized that my friendships all revolved around food. Like I didn't see my friends unless we were gonna go out shopping and then go eat, or if we were gonna go over to one of their house and get fast food and watch movies. Like all of our interactions really revolved around food. So don't put yourself in those situations. And if you need to start figuring out a way to have relationships with people that don't involve food, then have those conversations with your friends and family. But just don't feel like you have to put yourself in a situation. Don't have the fear of missing out, okay? Just relax, stay home, focus on building your habits. And also, this is a real thing. Like once your body starts detoxing from having certain types of foods, it's like you're going through a detox. I remember like I was shaky and I was aggravated and I like had the poops. TMI. But I did. My body was like detoxing, okay? So I'm like already feeling shaky and I'm a little bit like on the hungry side because my brain is used to like eating all of this and I don't actually need it. So if I were to have gone and put myself in situations where there's food, my willpower is already pretty weak. So you got to build up that muscle before you put it to use. Number 5, last one. Originally I had written down to take All right, number 5, last one. Originally, I wrote down in my notes, I said, take it one day at a time. But I feel like that's kind of like a, you know when you go and Google things and it's like generic? I feel like that's pretty generic. It is important, but it is pretty generic. So I'm gonna give you guys something more realistic, okay? My last tip for you guys is to, and this may sound counterproductive because you wanna lose weight, right? So you need to see your weight. But the last tip is to not focus on the scale. I promise you that the number on the scale fluctuates so flippin' easy. If I eat something salty the next day, I'm gonna be up like 1.5 pounds. If I'm on my period, guess what? I'm gonna be up like 8 pounds, okay? If it's super humid outside and my body's holding on to water, I'm gonna be up in weight. So the scale is helpful, but weighing yourself every single day is counterproductive, and honestly, it's just going to discourage you. So what you should do is only weigh yourself once a week. Choose one day a week, okay? For me, it's Sundays. So Sunday mornings, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and then like I go to the bathroom, like I tinkle, you know, or the other thing, and I weigh myself. And that is my like routine on Sundays. Every Sunday I will weigh myself. I don't weigh myself every day because again, the scale fluctuates so freaking much and you don't want to discourage yourself. Also, the other thing that I would highly recommend is to take photos. You don't have to take a photo every week. You can take a photo every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks if you'd like, but take front photo, side photo, and back photos, preferably wearing the same thing in every photo. And then I would also recommend that you take measurements once a week. Measure your neck, measure your arm. I get asked by my clients this question a lot because I do require them to take measurements so I can keep track of that, and also to remind them like you're still making progress even though the scale doesn't say it, because you will lose inches and not lose any weight. It happens, okay? But they always ask, like, when you measure your arm, what I do is I wrap the tape measure around my arm and then I put my arm down and relax it, and that's how I get the measurement. So do your neck, do your arm, do your bust across your nipples, do your waist at the smallest point. So for me, that'd be like right here, and then do your belly button measurement, which would be right here, and then do your hips, and then do your thigh, and then do your calf. Those are all really good measurements to have, and I promise you guys, like, you're gonna be like, I'm not making any progress, I feel like giving up. If you're my client, I'll be like, okay, what do your measurements say? And more times than not, the measurements are decreasing, but the scale just hasn't gone down yet, okay? So don't let the scale be like the one thing that determines if you're being successful or not, because quite frankly, if you're making changes and you're eating healthier or you started going to the gym, those changes are fantastic. They're not going to do anything bad for you. But what is going to be detrimental towards you is being like, well, this number hasn't changed, so I'm going to quit all of that. When really, like, you're chiseling away at this and you're only a centimeter away from breaking through, but you haven't gotten where you want just yet because of a number on a scale, so you turn around and go the other way when the goal is just literally right there. So don't let the number discourage you or dictate whether you think you're doing good or not. Give me an H2O break 1 sec. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, the email is down below. Just shoot me an email. Also, if you guys are interested in the 8-week beginner's weightlifting guide, which is what I followed and I created, I'm very proud of, then I'll put the link down below for that as well. I hope you guys are all doing well. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you are struggling with on your weight loss journey, and I will respond to all of you guys, answer your questions. That's all that I have. I hope you guys are all doing well on your weight loss and fitness and lifestyle changes. And remember, as always, you hold the power in your hands to make any changes in your life that you want to make, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.